Shackers, it's Asif Khan, CEO, EIC, EIEIO over here at Shacknews, and I'm actually on assignment here in New York City. I was invited to the Nintendo Switch 2 hands-on preview experience where we got to watch the Nintendo Direct in a group of journalists and influencers, and Doug Bowser was there, but I also got to play a lot of the game. So this first preview that I'm going to talk about is Donkey Kong Bananza. I had a chance to play a 20-minute demo of this game. I got to experience 2 levels. One was like the gold mine that you saw in the trailer, and it's kind of smaller and condensed, and it was really more of a tutorial, like 1-1 kind of level. So you know, you introduced to the punch mechanic and some of the jumping punch mechanics, and like you can jump and then push down, and you can also slap the ground with both hands, you know, typical DK movements. This was my favorite game at the event, so I wanted to talk about it first and just kind of let you know what you're going to be able to play if you're lucky enough to go to one of these Nintendo Switch Experience demos between now and the release date, which is June 5th. They did say that this Donkey Kong game is coming out in July, so we got some time before this comes out. The first level is kind of basic, but you got a good idea of what the graphics are going to look like. This game is like Destructible environments the game. So if you played like Deep Rock Galactic and you like that kind of freedom of being able to like forge your own path and like carve out a cave, or you know, dig for treasure, this game has that. It also feels like Wreck-It Ralph in a way, because like, you're definitely solving most of your problems by destroying stuff, which, you know, is fun, but it's also very much a collectathon. So I think it's fair to say this is like Wreck-It Ralph meets Deep Rock Galactic without the co-op, you know, stuff, or like the having to take a drill back upwards or anything. The nice thing about DK is, like, if you dig yourself too deep of a hole, he can just climb out, you know? He's an ape. He's got mad skills when it comes to climbing. The guy at my demo station, like, he was trying to get me through the mine quickly, because the second level is really where it shows off how expansive these worlds can be. It's just massive. This game, I'm not sure what to think of it right now, because I only got to play 2 levels, and it was only a 20-minute demo, and I can tell you that the 20 minutes went by so quickly. It felt like 5 minutes, because there's just so much to do in each level. Like, if you're a completionist, this game has so much stuff to collect. There's gold, you can spend the gold on stuff, they kind of implied that, but then there's like bananas, there are different color bananas. If you played Donkey Kong 64, you might have an idea of what a collectathon in this series looks like, and I feel like they did a little bit of that, but it's hard to say if it's too much or not. I like the optionality though, where there's like a deeper gameplay experience if you want it, and that's where I think it might be like Kirby in the Forgotten Land in that sense. But it's also like Mario Odyssey in a lot of ways, where Odyssey had these very large worlds where you could get multiple sprites, you know, in like one go. It seems like this is going to be similar to that, where you can find these bananas and it doesn't pull you out and drop you in a hub world and then make you go back in, you know, like the Mario 64 style of gameplay. That's not really present here. The first thing I noticed when I was playing it, this game's gorgeous. This is the best character model we've ever seen for Donkey Kong. His fur was like super noticeable. You know, the frame rate was great, but this is definitely that redesigned Donkey Kong model that Miyamoto showed off, I believe, when they first showed Donkey Kong in the Mario movie. So this is like an extension of that Donkey Kong character model, and it's a step away from the Donkey Kong Country Rare model. What's interesting is that a lot of the enemies still look like they're out of the Rare game. So it's not like it's losing all of its Rare flair. It is just kind of moving slightly away from that. The game rewards you for just breaking stuff, and you find stuff as a result of breaking stuff. You can pick up the ground and throw it at your enemies. So you can like dig up rocks like with your hands and then literally just use it as weapons. Obviously you can punch. It really feels like, when in doubt, DK is just going to punch his way out of every problem. Even in the trailer, you saw some examples where DK dug down and then he just punched his way out of a hill. I think that the traversal in this game is going to be really interesting. I think it's going to be a fascinating speedrun game. I can't wait to see like really talented platform players get their hands on this game, because I think it's gonna be really fun to watch. You know, it blew by so quickly. Like I was really just kind of immersed in the world. But I did get to see a Easter egg in the level where Cranky Kong told me that I should be the one to ride Rambi. So it's kind of a hint that maybe everyone's favorite rhinoceros is going to be a rideable character in this game. So I can't imagine the kind of destruction you could do on a Rambi in this game. Basically, if you can see it in this game, you can destroy it. And if you can't destroy it, it's probably a platform of some kind. So I think this opens the door to like all sorts of really cool, unique platform puzzles and gameplay mechanics. And this was just, you know, a small bit, like a tiny taste of the game. And I have a feeling there's going to be more gameplay mechanics introduced. For instance, like I didn't see a single barrel in my playthrough. Once again, it was only 2 levels, but like I didn't see a single. And that's like kind of par for the course when it comes to these Donkey Kong games, right? This is going to be a launch window title. It launches in July, not June. So it's gonna be about a month after Switch launches that this game comes out. I did think it was kind of interesting. They added a Souls-like kind of mechanic to this where, you know, like I said, you collect gold, and when you die, they penalize you by taking away some of your gold, but it gets put in a bag, and it's like left exactly where you died in the level. So if you can make it back there before you die again, you can get your gold back. I thought that was kind of interesting. It's not as punitive as like Odyssey, where you just lose coins, right? Being able to get back what you earned, I think, is a cool idea. And like it's a physical currency, so it makes sense that you just dropped it and you could go pick it up. So I thought that was kind of neat. There's a neat little detail that I picked up while playing it. The other thing I just want to say is like it has references to the franchise, but it's also just charming and adorable. Like DK makes all these facial expressions. You know, he goes, "Oh, banana." He has all those like those token Donkey Kong things that you would want in a game, but it's also just so damn charming. Like when he gets a banana, he has this huge ass grin on his face. The entire time I was playing it, I was smiling and I was laughing. And I can't compliment a game more when it actually elicits that kind of a response from me. If I were to guess, I think this is going to err on the side of Mario Odyssey more than it will on the side of Kirby and the Forgotten Land when it comes to the depth of gameplay, the expansiveness of the worlds, and just how much stuff there is to do. I almost felt like there was too much stuff to do in Odyssey at times, so I kind of hope it's not as crazy as that. But then at the same time, these worlds look huge, and that's not just in this game. Like I'll talk about it in my Mario Kart World preview, but that world is also massive. I think we're going to see on this system, the Switch 2, a lot of games have their largest experiences, their biggest experiences ever. And for people who like really large games that you can lose yourself in, I think Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be a perfect game for this launch window. And up until that demo, my favorite game that I had played all day was Mario Kart World. After this demo, I have to say, I'm most excited for Donkey Kong Bonanza, and I had the most fun playing Donkey Kong Bonanza. We'll get into why I feel that way about Kart in another video here. Just for now, I wanted to say that this was my favorite thing I played at the Nintendo Switch 2 experience, the preview event for press. It's really polished. It looks great, it plays great, and it's just fun. You know, breaking stuff's fun, destructible environments are fun, and the Donkey Kong universe is just fun. It's great to see Nintendo giving one of their most iconic mascots a flagship title like this. It's been so long since we've had a new Donkey Kong game, but it's been even longer since we've had a Donkey Kong 3D platforming game. And I think this is it's going to be a really fun, memorable game that I think people will be talking about for a while, and the memes are going to be outstanding. So those are my thoughts on Donkey Kong Bonanza, not B-O-B-A. It's a nice pun. 9 out of 10 on the pun there, Nintendo. Nintendo Switch 2 is coming June 5th, and Donkey Kong Bonanza will be launching in July. So we don't have to wait too much longer to get our hands on the system and this game. So keep it locked on Shacknews. We have more Nintendo Switch 2 preview event coverage hitting our YouTube channel, our website, and our social platforms. I'll see you next time.